Hello, everyone. Happy finals week. Great job on the course this year. Online classes I know can be difficult, but you have done a wonderful job staying engaged. Each of you has shown growth and progress in your writing, in the way that you think, and your conceptual connections have all improved. And so, if you are pursuing a career in HR, I do recommend continued education. There's a lot that we couldn't get into, but I think for your purposes, for people who are going to work in organizations and be future leaders, I think that this course should have given you a good background for that sort of stuff. At least I hope so. I would love any of your feedback. Please fill out your course survey. I would love to hear anything that you may have. If you have feedback that you want to give to me directly, I'm completely open to it. It's a safe space. But I wanted to close by talking about my grandmother. My grandmother, uh, she is very type A. She worked really hard, and she was a ran recruiting for Schriever Air Force Base or Peterson Air Force Base, one of the Air Force bases down in Colorado Springs. Ran recruiting in their HR department for multiple decades. She worked really hard. She gave everything that she could to the federal government. She worked extra hours. She stayed late. She risked herself driving in the snow. She did a lot of things that we might look back on and say, oh, well, she's giving too much. Um, my grandmother lived that way her entire life. Didn't retire when she could have, continued to work, continued to give too much. And then she finally retired. And it was a really good moment. And she got to live her life. And right when her retirement was really going to kick in, she was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. It was at that moment that she realized, oh, I should have lived my life more. She went through chemotherapy. She is in remission. This does have a happy ending. But I think about what she told me about living your life and your relationship to your work all the time. We're naturally passionate people. We are people who are driven for some external cause, external motivation. And yet, we're still humans, we're still people. I interact on a daily basis with people who do incredible work for the city of Commerce City, for other communities, for the state, for the federal government, who work in nonprofits, and they all do incredible work, and a lot of it is emotionally taxing. The single thread every single one of them tells me is that I have to live my life still. Whether you're working in homelessness, whether you're working in nonprofit social work, whether you're working in with sensitive communities like refugees or immigrants or people with different abilities. It's work that matters, and because it matters, we hold ourselves to a high standard about the work that we need to do. But in all actuality, you need to live your life. Um, you're going to be motivated. You're going to find the place that works for you in whatever amount of time it takes you. It's not going to be quick. Sometimes it is, but in most situations, you're going to take a couple of tries. And you got to stay motivated. But when you find that place, when you find that career that matters to you, appreciate what we have learned from this class. Job descriptions mean something. They were created with some level of intent. There's also a legal component behind that. That is the work that you are expected to do, that you are being compensated for. And when it comes to your work, do not do extra work and assume that it's going to be reciprocated or appreciated by the organization. There are a lot of really good organizations and a lot of really good managers that may appreciate it. They may. The problem is that you're essentially giving free work with no promise of reciprocity. And you're going to say to me, you're going to say, well, Trenton, it's because the work matters. And you know what? The work absolutely does matter. But at the end of the day, you matter too. And your work can be an important part of your life. I am someone whose work is an important part of my life. And yet, I have to still have boundaries with my workplace. I have to still set those limits. I have to say, this is not something I'm being paid to do. I have to say, this is not something that I should be spending my time and especially be spending my emotional energy on. And so, as you go off in the world, whether it's you're graduating uh, this week or I guess this weekend, or you've got another year or a year and a half or half semester, maybe you're taking classes in the summer. Um, Whatever the next step in your journey is, remember that you have a life to live too, and you have to take care of yourself. Know your job description, know your boundaries, know your worth. Thank you all for taking my course this semester. If any of you ever need anything, I'm here for you. I will say it in the post I put as well, but I'm here for you if you ever need career advice, if you ever just need, a sounding board, I'm here for that. And if you don't want to talk to me ever again, I completely understand that. I just want you to know that I'm a resource for you. Even if 20 years have passed and we haven't talked, I'm still a resource for you. I don't want you or anyone else to be in the position that my grandmother was in. I want you to live happy, fulfilling lives filled with a lot of good work. And I know you can do that work. Just remember that you're a person too. Thank you all.